Markelle Fultz was seen as the final piece to the 76ers process. But the former #1 pick definitely had a rough rookie season, only playing in 14 games due to some injuries. He averaged 7.1 points, 3.1 rebounds, 3.8 assists, on 40% field goal percentage and 48% from the free throw line. His shoulder injury caused him to go from being a 41% three-point shooter in college to only attempting one in the NBA. Fultz's injury was pretty serious, as you could see, but the young rookie persevered and became the youngest player to ever record a triple-double on April 12th with 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists in only 25 minutes off the bench. This shows that Markelle still has the ability to fulfill his potential, and that people are freaking out over one injury-riddled bad rookie season. We've had many of these before, and I'm here to simulate the first 10 years of his NBA career to see how good he can be. So after Markelle's first season, we are going to be taking him to the training camps to work on his potential, because we do in fact want him to reach his highest potential after having a rough rookie season. So A before A after, it probably went up by 2 or 3 points. Now after the second season of simulating, he is a 79 overall. He averaged 15.4 points, 5.6 rebounds, 6.3 assists. He definitely improved from last year. 0.8 steals, 0.2 blocks, 2 turnovers, 50%, 51%, and 28% from 3. He also improved on free throw percentage and is playing a whole lot more minutes, and hopefully he played in a whole lot more games. Now checking his per 36 minutes, 16.8 points, 6.1 rebounds, 6.8 assists, 0.9 steals, 0.2 blocks. So with more minutes, he did produce more on the offensive end, but not really on the defensive end, although he is clearly improving, as you can see. And we want to work on his three-point shot, because in today's NBA, you definitely need to have a jump shot to be successful. Now over the course of that whole season, Markelle Fultz went up by 3 overalls. He's now an 80 overall, and his jump shot is a C. His three-pointer is a C- at least, but that is nowhere near good enough. So we are going to be taking him to the perimeter shooting camp, and yes, we do want to send him there. So his shot, all of his categories went up by at least 2 points. Now, after the third season, Markelle Fultz is looking at an 83 overall. He averaged 13.4 points, which went down, 4.6 rebounds, 5.8 assists, 1.2 steals, 0.2 blocks. And all of his percentages did go up, though. His minutes went down, and I just wanted to check how many games he played. This is the first time he ever played 82 games in a season, so maybe that fatigue got to him during the year. He's still young. He's only 22 years old, so he still has so much room to improve, but it's not really showing up in the stat sheet. And he did have his highest PER this year, even though you can't see the other 2 years, but I did show you them before, I'm pretty sure. And now we just got to keep working on his jump shot to make him become a better player. And I did play with his tendencies a little bit so he could score more, because his tendencies were low. His shooting threes tendencies were low because his three-point shot was like a D- when we started with him. But he's increased by 5 overalls that season, so now he's an 86. And we're going to take him right back to the shooting camp, and he's now an 87 overall, and his shot is not looking too bad nowadays. So in his 4th season, the last season we're going to simulate, he won the Most Improved Player award, averaging 14.7 points, 4.6 rebounds, 6.8 assists, 1.1 steals, and 0.3 blocks per game. And his averages weren't too bad, but we still have to get his three-point average up. Now his free throw percentage is looking better, way better than the first season, and he did play 60 games that year. Missed some games still, so he needs to work on that durability, definitely. And this is going to be the last season we simulate until the 10th season. I may have said that before, but as you can see, that's his first award he won in the NBA. And now we're simulating all the way to the 10th season. As you can see, he's 29 years old. He's 93 overall. And take a look at his career. This year, he averaged 23.7 points, 5.1 rebounds, 10.3 assists, 1.4 steals. And in his best season so far, he averaged 25.8 points, 6 rebounds, and 10.7 assists with 1.5 steals. And he made himself a almost 48% shooter from the three-point line, which is a crazy increase. And he plays almost the whole season every year. So now looking at his overall career stats, he averaged 20.1 points, 5.1 rebounds, 8.3 assists, 1.1 steals, and he's just getting into his prime at this point. So he definitely has like 3 or 4 more good years of playing basketball, and then he's gonna get back into that old veteran role player position that most players go through, if you know what I'm saying. So he definitely turned out into the player that we thought he could be, and if he's anything like this in the NBA in real life, the 76ers could be scary. You can see we definitely worked on his outside shot a lot, as he has a 96 open shot 3, 90 off the dribble, and 90 moving, which is crazy because if that's all he needs, well, that's not all he needs, that's one of his biggest needs right now, as he couldn't really shoot this year. But it was basically because of his shoulder injury. We've heard stories about how bad that was, about how he couldn't lift his arms up. And I mean, I believe it. But why was he playing if he couldn't do that? So he just made it worse, I guess. I guess that's just how the 76ers run their organization. But taking a look at his award history, he's won 2 MVPs the last 2 seasons. He's an NBA champion last year. He's a 6-time All-Star, 4-time First-Team All-NBA, 1-time Second-Team All-NBA, 1-time Third-Team All-NBA, and he won the Most Improved Player award. Now his career high in points is 49, and this season it was 40. His career high in rebounds was 14. His career high in assists was 20. Steals 5, blocks 4. And I think that this is a likely scenario for Markelle Fultz. We saw his potential. We saw him at Washington. He's already been doing very good things in the NBA, but not enough. Like, he had that one game where he had a triple-double, but he barely played in the playoffs because he just was not ready, and he's been injured. But I hope he could get back on track and be the player he could be. So that's going to be it for this video, this new type of video that I'm making. I'm going to do it for the top 10 draft picks of last season, and then a couple more players like Donovan Mitchell, Kyle Kuzma. So I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll catch you guys next time.
I know a girl to do everything. Model DJ, do hair, everything. Babysit, strip, run scripts, everything. Doctor said what hurt